Hi Aquarius, welcome to your Modern Maven Tarot Extended Tarot Forecast for November 2023. So let's talk a little bit quickly about a recap of October. So October's message was revelations that can liberate you during Libra season. Are you ready to accept the challenge ahead? Okay, and the challenge is, do you believe in magic? Do you believe in your own magic and your shadow? And so the fascinating message I remember from October is when you are a person like an Aquarian who before their time of the age of Aquarius misunderstood, right? Told to be differently than how you are. These are things that build our shadow, okay? And so really, do you believe in your own magic is a very important question to ask yourself, because during this time of liberation, we really need to keep in mind how much of what we reject of ourselves, how much of what we fear, embarrassment, shame, guilt, all those things, how much of that is connected to the shadow's power, okay? But I do think because of Pluto being direct and this transformative energy of secrets being revealed, these are secrets from your shadow too, okay? And it can be things that we don't even necessarily know are blocking us, all right? But that inner light is shining. I really am getting this sense, Aquarians, that you really are identifying the urge of being guided to be liberated, okay? And I think that really was activated during Libra season in October. And a fellow air sign, right? And whatever this tower moment is, when you're aligned with that lightning bolt of change, it is bringing in your ships, if you will, okay? So say this to all signs, but especially air signs. Definitely be mindful of your time on social media, consuming media, okay? Because of the energy that what you consume and how it affects your thinking, your subconscious, even if you're not understanding how it's connecting to your subconscious, how it's building your shadow's power. When we continue to surround ourselves in dynamics that are of division, right, and against the liberation of our inner child, okay? So do pay attention to that. Be mindful. It's not saying to tune out the outside world. You obviously need to be informed. However, when it comes to divisive energy, yeah, you really need to be mindful, okay? And it's like, justice is blind type of energy of not picking sides. It's the balance of the yin and the yang, because you really just need to get out there and find experiences that make you feel alive, okay? And so the less you can focus on the inner workings of the Capricorn paradigm shadow and it exerting its power right now, you're really being guided to focus on your inner light, honestly. Okay, and so like I said, it's not being, putting your head in the sand, if you will, but knowing that with all of us doing our personal part, okay, of raising that vibration, of harming none, helping all type of energy, right? And that, we're coming into the age of peace and liberation. We really just, you can't control the things that you can't control, okay? But you can control the energy you put out, I guess, is really how I want to word that. And the more of us that can collectively do our shadow work, the less power the collective shadow has on all of us, okay? So that's really important to keep in mind. Now, a little bit about November's astrology before we move on. So November is really, so there's been some like lines drawn in the sand, right? And there are people that are taking sides, and then there's people that are like doing this, you know what I mean? And so as Aquarians, depending on, what energy you align to, it's really important that if you were setting intentions, especially during that Libra new moon, okay, if you were setting intentions related to where you want your future to go, and you're seeing events right now as not aligned, and personal or collectively, not aligned with the path that you set out to manifest, you're going to be facing some challenges, okay, to the changes that you have been implementing, all right? So now, like, let's say you started a new routine, okay, and it was going great, and now all of a sudden there are these challenges to maintaining that routine, all right? Like this could be an exercise routine that you set in, and all of a sudden you got all this extra work. All of a sudden you have all these extra responsibilities or obligations, right? That's a test of, are you going to adhere to, you know, this new routine? But the wonderful thing I would say is, yes, that Taurus eclipse was intense. We can all accept that. Instead of, okay, so this is, my Gemini mind goes all over the place. September and October were really a month of building resilience, if you will, okay? And November is going to be more supportive, right? So it's kind of like this idea of like, you know, we're putting out, we're keeping our focus high and like, yes, like we can do this. And then we get hit with that Taurus eclipse and it's like, whoa, you know, and it can really energetically, physically, mentally ruin you, right? In a sense. And so it's really this concept of what is resilience? How do you have resilience? And again, resilience is built from your shadow. That liberation comes from going deep within and getting those answers that we might not even recognize are there, because your subconscious is where your shadow generally lays until it's triggered and reacts. So when we have that resilience, it's easier to navigate this stuff, right? And September and October were really about building that up for November, okay? And keeping it in perspective always helps. So definitely look at your Saturn placement, because Saturn is your blocks, your fears, your challenges. And that is where you can really find areas where you can build your resilience. And then also your shadow is in the opposite of your rising. So take a look at your chart and see what's the opposite of your rising sign, and see if there's anything in there you can identify when it comes to reactionary triggers that you have, okay? So let's get into some of the positive. I mean, but positively speaking, you are being provided opportunities to grow in this new direction, all right? It's just that there's a lot of things that are going to ask you, like, are you really on this path? Can you really stay on this path, okay? Now, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces is going to indicate hard work and compassion. And Saturn stations direct on November 4th, okay, after it's been retrograde since June 17th. So really take a look at events that have been happening since around like the middle of June. Okay, because that was a time of reflection. Okay, and again, reflection in the areas of your blocks, limitations, fears. What's preventing you from moving in a certain direction, if you will. Now, it's going to turn direct. So all those things we've been thinking about now we're going to face, okay? And so just be prepared. And this is collective astrology, all right? This isn't specific to Aquarians. So also keep that in mind, that putting into perspective, when the collective can face these challenges in a certain manner, like again, the more power the light has, the less power the shadow has. And again, it's not about destroying the shadow or conquering the shadow. It's facing it as a part of who we are and moving forward, okay? Because it's not about defeat. It's not this or that. You can't have one without the other, okay? But how they show themselves, that's the difference, all right? So all this trigger, reactionary, anger, hostility, all that is coming from our shadow not getting the recognition, the attention it deserves, right? Us not learning the lessons from it, if you will. So all of that is super important. So the wonderful thing too about this though is it does inspire hard work and compassion. Again, it's that resilience of having that pushing through. And then we also have it sparking creative inspiration. So that's going to be wonderful for you Aquarians, especially like with this Aquarian age coming in. You might be getting some really, really interesting downloads, okay? So please do write down any ideas you're having in the month of November. So then we also have Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus. And this is my favorite because it indicates lucky breaks, all right? And so what we're going to see, especially during the first part of November with Scorpio season until like the 22nd, we're getting indications of lucky breaks in November, all right? So when you see these synchronicities, okay, again, it's transforming this negative thinking into a whole new mindset, okay? Really rejecting this is your shadow's hold on you, okay? Keeping you in a certain pattern. And so you really want to break free from that. But these lucky breaks, you're going to get these synchronicities. You know, you're going to have a song in your head and then you're going to hear it in the grocery store. You're going to meet somebody new, okay? And like, let's say you're single and then you meet this person and it's like, oh my God, this is actually who I feel like I'm meant to be with, but it doesn't happen right away. So all of these are little hints of what's to come in spring 2024. So when you are, again, because it's going to be a challenging month for everybody, but when you are aware of these synchronicities that are coming into you, and it's not, here's the thing, is like, you know, instant gratification society. Yes, this is something that we have to accept as our programming of wanting everything now, okay, and how hard that can be. You're going to get these hints. So when you get these hints, recognize it for what it is and get excited that seed that you planted, like it's like when you planted this seed a while ago and it's just sprouting out of the ground. You're not going to rip it out before it's done growing, are you? So that's the kind of analogy I guess I would put is you're seeing the plant, that fresh green plant plop out, but the pepper is not there yet, okay? Like, so think of it that way. So you want to keep nurturing it. Don't force it to grow faster than it needs to. And like, that's unfortunately a lot of, you know, some of the guidance, if you will, online of, you know, like instant gratification manifestation. And I think that kind of doesn't bring in to attention, you know, the shadow and nurturing, you know, because you have to nurture your shadow just as much as you nurture everything else. So we also have a new moon in Scorpio on November 13th, and this is about taking big risks. So a reminder, and I think this will be good for you because you have really been working on your shadow, okay? And you have been really getting some messages related to that and embracing that Aquarian, amazing, forward-thinking, futuristic person that you are. And like I said, as a child, I said this in your October, as a child, you might have believed in stuff where people are like, that's not real. Like, that's not part of this 3D Capricorn paradigm. So you're wrong, right? And being told to conform into the 3D Capricorn paradigm when that is not who you are. So now is that time where it's all coming together of like, there was nothing wrong with me for thinking or feeling this way that doesn't identify, you know, with the 9-to-5 rat race type of energy. So taking big risks, it is very important because taking risk is impulsive behavior, isn't it? Okay, so when we are rejecting our shadow work, we are allowing our subconscious shadow to impulsively direct where those big risks take us. So just be mindful of that, okay? So, you know, tarot is all about choices. It's just nothing set in stone, okay? But yeah, just be mindful on the 13th of these impulsive, and again, these impulsive could be like quitting your job and starting your passion project, you know, starting a new relationship way too quickly. You know what I mean? Let's move in type of energy when, you know, you just met and you might not necessarily know all of the facets of that person's personality. So anyways, then we have Sagittarius season, November 22nd, and a full moon in Gemini on November 27th. Now, this is very important for you, Aquarius, so please pay attention. It can be hard for Aquarians to... This has been part of your shadow work. And yes, it's so funny because I will get to it in just a second. This is very important, okay? You've been getting a lot of messages of needing to accept other people's opinions, okay? And understanding that you are a jigsaw puzzle piece in somebody else's life and vice versa. And so I believe in a fellow air sign of Gemini, I really believe that full moon is really going to be a challenge from the universe. Can you accept differences of opinions to move forward collectively? Because you got this the other time. Again, the light and the shadow working together. The yin and the yang coexisting. Okay, the light and the dark coexisting. This is going to, I personally believe, be a very big message for you, Aquarius, in the month of November, especially getting to the end of the month. Because we remember, Scorpio season, death, birth, transformation, right? And then moving into the fast forward moving Sagittarius season, it's really going to be something to be mindful of, okay? That's all. All right, so we will get into your monthly tarot. Just a reminder, I do a general spread where we see the overall energy, what you need more of, what you need less of, what you need to accept, what you can change, and where the energy is heading at the end of the month. I also do some past life energy, empowering question, crystal energy, and then a clarifier at the end just to wrap it up. So without further ado, I think we should get into this. Okay, I'm going to say one more message because it popped up right when I was doing that final shuffle. You have a choice on how you react, okay? So when we give up our power over how we act or what we say, you know, that's our shadow, okay? So just really be mindful of reactionary behavior, because I'm getting an indication of like, well, you know, that person said that. And you know what I mean? Like, you have the choice of how you speak. You have the choice of how you react, okay? And so it's really about finding new ways, new tools, again, death and rebirth, of finding new ways to navigate that, especially when it comes to your relationships, okay? So let's see what we got for Aquarius for November 2023. Yeah. When you can do that, that's where I think this challenge is going to really be connected to making that choice on how we react with some relationship in our life. And when we make that choice, that is this new path of embracing our shadow, okay? Embracing ourselves for who we are. That's where that liberation is really going to just like activate, okay? So we're really just all being guided. Like, are you going to choose the same reactionary response, or are you going to take yourself, like, hold back and again choose a new path, okay? Yep. Wow. Okay. This is this message was pretty clear, and so I mean, it's on my behalf seeing the confirmation of it, I guess. Okay, so let's dive into this. Okay, your overall energy for for November 2023 is the Four of Swords. So you really are getting energetically drained. I really had this for Libras too. And again, like I said, I really believe that this is really connected to that air energy. So really giving you a big hug, okay? My Pisces warm hug is coming to Aquarians right now, because you're really just exhausted mentally, physically, because you are physically, and you really need to make sure that you take time to center yourself, okay, and sit with your thoughts, and really, like I said, do that shadow work. It's so important, because the Eight of Cups is what you need more of in this month, and it's really accepting this new path. And the biggest sign for you, Aquarius, is that the Eight of Cups is ruled by Saturn in Pisces. And what did I say about Saturn turning direct in Pisces on November 4th? This is going to be really, really, really important, okay? So please pay attention. Hard work and compassion. Remember those themes, okay? Hard work and compassion. Not just compassion for other people, but compassion for yourself. But what you can really use is accepting what has happened, okay? Acknowledging what has happened. And we're going to get to this because I really think that we need to see our place in something and not putting blame on others or the situation or it's out of my control. And that is what I said before this tarot even started. So we're going to get further into it, but please do pay attention to that, because there is this feeling of loneliness, and there's this feeling of like, again, it's that cycle. Like we once we can realize that we're in the shadow cycle, we can liberate ourselves from it, okay? What I like seeing here, though, is the Two of Coins is what you have enough of. You have the energy to balance all of this, right? So this is also the idea of like, you have your 9 to 5, but then you have your passion project, okay? So that is really what I'm seeing is you can take this all on. You have the ability to do it. but you're going to probably feel really exhausted. So again, that's what I'm saying about resilience. And if you need to find information on building resilience, or where, like meditations to help with that and guide that, because this is going to be your biggest challenge, I think, is just navigating through the month and just like, I can't get there, right? But you're getting there. So please, 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 we'll get to it. The Seven of Swords is in a position of what you need less of. And so again, this feeling of betrayal, okay? And how you react to it. And again, like, I really just believe that all of this is centering yourself in a manner of identifying your role in situations, whether this be work, personal, if you're a parent with your kids, if you're a kid with, your parent type of thing, not kid like child, but you know what I mean? Like, you could even be an adult child with your parent and have a certain dynamic that you feel betrayed, okay? And so I can't drill this enough into your head that when you do your shadow work, you identify that those triggers, that reactionary behavior is your shadow trying to protect itself. But the biggest part of it is when we see these things we dislike in other people, it all comes from within, okay? And then that's where, like I said, we get to that Aquarian, we all are one. So the more you face your shadow and embrace it, the less you see that shadow side negatively in other people, okay? So it's, like this idea, you're feeling hurt and betrayed. Well, that other person is too. Like, you're both trying to protect yourselves, right? But all you're doing is hurting each other. It's that kind of energy. And so when you identify, oh, I'm speaking like this because I was hurt in this way, or I didn't get what I needed. And again, it's not an excuse for how you behave or what you say, but it allows you to see the situation differently. And then you can work on, again, taking a new path in how you approach those situations. Now, the King of Wands is in a position of what you can change. And so I really do think that because the Four of Swords is your overall energy, again, of that feeling exhausted and like, I just can't do this, I'm too tired, like that kind of stuff, you do have it in you to get out there and make the moves you need to make, okay? And the Court cards can also be people in your life, all right? And so I do think, because of this transformation, I do think it's the concept of you can transform from here to here, okay? Especially in the direction that it's taking. And you might have actually, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but you might have gotten this in a reading recently, because the star is in the area of what you need to accept. Aquarius, this is you. I'm going to get really emotional. I'm a Pisces, so I get emotional no matter what, but this is going to make me extremely emotional. You have to accept yourself. You have to accept that wishes come true. You have to accept this rebirth. You have to accept yourself for all that you are, okay? A reminder, this is that Capricorn paradigm crumbling, and this is the Aquarian age. Don't let the shadows pull you down, all right? The shadow thinks it's keeping you safe. It's not to shame the shadow either. It just thinks it's protecting you. Rise above, okay? Now, the end of the month, we have the Ten of Wands, okay? So the Ten of Wands is interesting as well because it is ruled by Saturn in Sagittarius. So remember, there's a big emphasis on Saturn and Neptune, and Saturn turning direct at the beginning of the month. And we're going into Sagittarius season at the end of the month, all right? So actually, before I even get to this, when you look at your chart, and if you don't have your chart, I always link Pam Gregory's for birth chart. Look for Scorpio, Pisces, Taurus, Sagittarius, and Gemini, okay? Now see if you have any planets ruled by those signs, and then also see where any house, like the houses that are ruled by those signs, okay? But going back to this, this is indicating to me that you are taking the steps necessary to build that resilience. So this is almost like that feeling of like, you're just a little bit behind when it comes to the month, basically. So like a lot of things people are going through at the beginning of the month, you're going to go through at the end of the month. That's really like what I'm gathering. But this is like really the importance of needing to change your perspective, okay? Because again, this person is building their resilience, right? Like it's, you know, you train for a marathon. Like, are you going to go run the marathon without any training? Absolutely not. And then when you do that training and you transform your body and then you're ready for that marathon, like you're not sore, you're not, you know what I mean? It's that kind of idea of see the positive aspects of the hard work and building your resilience, building it as a muscle, okay? And because it's taking you something, you can't see where it's taking you. And a reminder, you're getting those hints in November for where spring 2024 is going. So it's really having faith and wishing upon a star and accepting it's coming in, okay? So we definitely need to pull, we need to pull the past life energy, because I really think that this is going to unlock some really important information for you in regards to the areas in which you can work with this energy, okay? So let's see what past life energy is affecting Aquarius for November 2023. Past life energy. Oh my. Wow. All right. And interesting that it fell on here in what you can change, okay? This King of Wands. I really think that working on this is going to help you change this. So you have karmic relationships as the past life energy. Now, a reminder, past lives can be, if you're a parent, your life before kids, your childhood, an actual past life. So take it how it resonates, okay? This card indicates that one or more of the people in your lifetime are from previous lifetimes. You both ended your relationships with karmic imbalances. This means that one or both of you are most likely harboring old feelings that need to be healed and released. When this occurs, you will be set free from recurring destructive and toxic patterns. In some cases, this card will arise when there's a reunion with a beloved soul from a previous life. Perhaps you finally reconnected with a romantic partner from your past, or a new friendship is bringing you great joy. With healthy past life connections, you'll immediately feel a sense of comfort and familiarity. You received this card to answer in the answer of a question or concern that involves karmic relationships. Fortunately, you can appeal to the universe for help in releasing any old stuck energies or emotions. You may also be guided to work with a past life regression and relationship healing specialist. So what I'm really getting is an indication, and this isn't going to apply for everybody, but take it how it resonates. I believe that some of those glimmers of what you know is to come, you're going to come in contact with somebody with this, you know, and it's not saying you have just one karmic relationship. I believe that there's a relationship from your past that is preventing, like there's not something healed, where this new person coming in who is a karmic relationship from your past, there's something from your shadow that is preventing you from embracing this new relationship, or you're feeling like you're going to get betrayed, or you know what I mean? Like there's just something not resolved that's holding you back, okay? Now let's get an empowering question for Aquarius for November 2023. What empowering question is going to help guide Aquarius for November 2023? Yeah, I think too, this is definitely something, it's feeling like a relationship testing of, okay, which direction are you going to take? Like this person might have, like, let's say you're really drawn to this person, but then there's something they believe where you're like, oh, no, absolutely not. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that kind of energy. I'm going to shuffle those again because my mind was off in that direction. But I think it really is something like that. Like at the end of the month, you're going to be tested with this idea of, or even during the month, you know, take it how it resonates. But there's something where it's really making you go, yeah, I just reject that, right? And then you're rejecting your shadow too, okay? So let's see. Empowering question for Aquarius, November 2023. Really getting some resistance too to this, right? Like I know, I understand it. Like my shadow, a lot of it is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius shadow is, you know, my way or the highway type of energy. And so I get that. Trust me, I get that. Okay, so your empowering question is, how or in what way do I experience myself when I'm alone? How or in what way do I experience myself when I'm alone? So when you are taking this time, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? Are you beating yourself up? Are you blaming others? These are things you need to think about when you're feeling this exhaustion, okay, this burnout. When you're tuning off the world and going within, you really have to ask yourself what you're doing, okay? So let's get some crystal energy that's going to help you, will guide you with that, because I really do believe a lot of this is really changing your perspective. I just really think the themes from October are continuing for you, okay? So let's pull some crystal energy. And if you have some Libra energy too in you, like, definitely pay attention to that, because like I said, Libra's got some really hard energy to deal with in November, and giving you all a big hug, okay? But let's see what crystal energy we have for Aquarius. Man, those, all right, 2 cards apparently want to come out. And they fell here, so they fell on the 4 of Swords and the 8 of Cups. So like I said, I really think this is about some sort of emotional, mental transformation. This is going to help. Yep, this is going to help you with, because look at what it is. It's opal, emotional magnification. And these colors are amazing. They're so Aquarian. So if you have opal, please carry it around with you, you know, place it somewhere where you can see it. If you can even like print off a picture of an opal, okay, or something where you can wear these colors, right? Take a screenshot of this card and whatever you need to do. But it's really going to help you with, like I said, this emotional, mental transformation. Perfect. And you got Celestite, which is knowing. All right, that's going to give you that clarity that you need. And I really think, like I said, because it's so closely linked to this card, knowing the star is reborn. Okay, so let's get a clarifier, and then we're going to close this out for your Aquarius. Again, giving you a big hug. Remember, all of this is meant to build your resilience. Okay, so it's change your perspective on this month. Okay, even like, okay, I'm getting... Put on Eye of the Tiger, okay? You know, like the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like especially that part, because when you're feeling like you're like, you can't do it, like really put that on, because like that you just need that, like that motivate, like changing your perspective when it's hard, like show yourself like Rocky and like climbing those stairs, you know what I mean? And even watch movies like that, you know, if you need to like have some sort of boost in your confidence to build your resilience, okay? So let's do a clarifier. One clarifier, please, for Aquarius for November 2023. I might even title this Eye of the Tiger. Okay. I'm going to title it Eye of the Tiger. All right. Please, Aquarius, one clarifier for Aquarius. Can I get a clarifier for Aquarius for November 2023? All righty. Let's see what it is. And it's like, I look at where the direction too. All of this is so focused on this emotional, mental transformation. Wow. You got the Knight of Wands. Oh, interesting. And you got the Star in reverse. Be very, very mindful of that Scorpio new moon, okay? This is ruled by Scorpio, and it's impulsive behavior, okay? So Aquarius, I know I'm being very stern right now because this was in reverse. This is you, okay? Do not allow that impulsive reactionary behavior prevent you from turning this upright and embracing your shadow. This is not embracing it. This is embracing it. You need to accept it, okay? giving you that big, warm Pisces hug, Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed your November reading. If you did, please do like, comment, and share with other people that you think it might resonate with. Also, please subscribe to Modern Maven Tarot on YouTube so you get notifications of when new videos pop up. I will eventually be doing those shadow astrology videos, so please do stay subscribed to my channel so you get notifications. And then check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a more in-depth look at the month ahead. Also, if there's a particular planet that you need some clarity on, I definitely recommend watching that video. Really highly suggesting you watch your Saturn. And then also take a look at your rising sign and see what's the opposite of your rising sign. And see if you can find anything in that reading. So this is going to be transformative. Hang in there. Listen to Eye of the Tiger. And have an amazing, transformative, and empowering month of November.